Hello, my friends, my warriors. This is Mary Mack of the Mary Mack Show. Today, I want to speak to you about what happens when you're at the funeral of a loved one and people come up to you and say, "Oh, I'll be there for you. If you need anything, just call me, just reach out." And I think to myself, how many times that happens? I don't think there's been a funeral ever where someone hasn't said those words to you or to someone who is going to lose or is losing the love of their life. Maybe it's their parent, their spouse, their grandparent, their sibling, even a child. And when you're in such dire straits, when you are so in shock, it's when you take in all of those things to heart. You remember them. You remember how people touched you on the shoulder. You remember how they grabbed your hand and looked in your eyes and told you, "Don't worry, I'll be here for you." Sure. And then you realize months go by and they lied to you. They lied. Now, why did they lie? Well, first of all, because they didn't know what the hell to say to you. They really didn't. They didn't know what to say. And so they came up with that line because they figure that's as good a line as any. That's as good a promise as any. But they weren't telling you the truth. They were just placating you because they didn't know what else to say. And they didn't have the ability or the knowledge or the wisdom to say, "I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I can't even imagine this pain and this sorrow, but I want to be there for you whenever you're ready." And mean it. And mean it. Because right now, that person's in shock at the funeral. And they really need support as time goes on. They may not need support right now because the cavalry have come out. There are more plates of food in their house than they know what to do with. And they don't fit in the refrigerator or the freezer anymore. There's just too many. Everybody comes through at the beginning for a few weeks, and then they go back to their respective homes. People fly in to help you, relatives and friends, and they only stay for a certain period of time, and then they move on. They move on with their life. They tried to do right by you. They did what they thought was best. They came to the funeral. Maybe they flew hundreds of thousands of miles. Maybe they drove several states away from where they lived to come and see you. And it did cost them quite a bit to get there and be with you and take time off from work so that they could really just be with you. And we have to commend them for that. It was a sacrifice of some sort. And we're grateful for that. We're very grateful for that. But to the people who said they would be there for you, to just call them whenever you needed something. Well, sometimes you've tried that and you've gotten nowhere. They don't answer the phone, they don't call you back. It's very disconcerting because you counted on that. You counted on them. So here we are now, looking for support, maybe a month later, 2 months later, 5 months later. And you're wondering why those people aren't showing up or at least connecting with you again. Because after all, look what they said to you at the funeral. And you banked on that. But it wasn't to be. It just wasn't to be. And so the reason that I'm talking to you about this today is because we cannot rely on the words that people tell us when we have a death of a loved one. We just can't. We just can't rely on that. They were well-meaning, well-intentioned, but when it comes right down to it, they might not want to be involved in your life for a whole host of reasons. Maybe you lost your husband and they don't want to invite you to the things you used to do as couples because they realize that you might be very attractive to some of their friends' husbands or even their husband, and they don't want to take the chance that their husband might leave you or leave them for you. Now, that may seem kind of far-fetched, but it's not. It's not. And if you've lost a sibling and they've never lost a sibling, oh my, I don't know what to say to her. I don't know what to say to him. It's it's an awkward situation for them. If you've lost a child, it's even worse because they don't know what that's like. They don't know what it is to lose a child. And quite frankly, my dear, they don't want to know. And they have this horrible sense that if they get close to you, it might happen to them. It might just happen to them, which was our experience when Angela was murdered at age 11. No one came around again. No company, no calls, no letters. Only a few of my cousins were kind enough to send notes of encouragement and cards along the way. And I thought that was amazing and just so endearing. They'd remember her anniversary. They'd send a card from time to time just to let us know they were thinking of us. And that's all it took. And it just meant so much, meant so much. Just a handful of cousins and family, just a handful. And I have many, 17 cousins. And I think maybe 2 even cared about us. It was not good. So I'm just eager to tell you that what you bank on, okay, the people you bank on who told you one thing, don't rely on it. And when it doesn't happen, don't be disappointed. Please don't be disappointed. There are other people who will come into your life and they will be even better for you. Because you can't make someone want to help you. You can't make someone who said something make good on it. There are going to be a lot of disappointments after someone's died in your life. So many disappointments from promises that were never kept and people you thought would be there, but they aren't. They just aren't. And so you will learn how to be with other people who come out of nowhere and help you. And that'll be in our next episode. So bless you. Stay strong. Be of good courage during this very difficult and different time in your life. And if this has helped you, please subscribe, rate, review, like, and share. It will help us a great deal. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now. God bless.